The biggest scam in English education industry is that they introduce someone with no experience or qualifications as an English teacher. What's worse, they charge half the course fees from the student or the parent because of the fact that the teacher is a native English speaker. I'm going to explain how they do it, how they pull off their scam, and how to avoid falling prey to it. And it's super simple. Now, hello. Before we get started, let me properly introduce myself so that you will be able to trust me and what I'm going to say a little bit more. My name is Serkan and I'm an English linguist from Turkey. I also got a teaching certificate from a teacher training course organized and monitored by the Cambridge University named CELTA. I've been working in the English education industry for well over 8 years. I worked as an English teacher for many institutions, big and small. I worked in administrative positions as well. I designed and developed teacher training and orientation programs. I've written a couple of textbooks, mainly for English linguistics. Currently, I'm working on other language-related projects. Now, let's get back to the topic. As you all know, every industry has its ups and downs. The English education industry is no different. However, there is something that most schools and language institutions constantly exploit. The biggest scam in English education industry is that they introduce someone with no experience or qualifications as an English teacher. What's worse, they charge half the course fees from the student or the parent because of the fact that the teacher is a native English speaker. I'm going to explain how they do it, how they pull off their scam, and how to avoid falling prey to it. And it's super simple. Now, first, how do they pull it off? Some students or parents desire to have someone from the US, Canada, Britain, or any other native English speaking country to teach them English. So much so that they do not check whether that person is actually qualified or not. They usually trust the school or institute to do it for them. Would you like to guess what the school or institute does at this point? Well, this is the point that they exploit your trust and your desire or your need. They just bring a random citizen from that country and put them in your classroom while claiming that they are indeed a teacher. You don't believe me? Well, don't take my word for it. I will show you a very simple way to check it and see it for yourself. See if you are getting scammed or not. And if I'm right, you can come back and thank me for it. Okay, this is the moment you have been waiting for. How to check whether your school or institution is scamming you and how to avoid it. We are going to start with a simple question to ask your teacher or your school. Let's give our imaginary teacher a name. Let's say his name is John and he is from the States. Question 1 to John. What did John do in his home country before he decided to become your teacher? The answer you'll get might actually surprise you. Most of the time they will tell you that John was not teaching in the States or he was not doing anything related to teaching. They will say, or John might have worked in service industry, He might have been a manager in a company or something totally different, but not teaching. This is the first red flag. But alright, this is only the first question, so we can relax. It's not over yet. Maybe everything else is okay. Question number 2. What did John study? What did he major in? Normally, the answer should be something like English education, English lit, or English linguistics, or something related to either English or education. But as you guessed it, the answer will be much more different. They will tell you that John studied marine biology or astronomy or something about art, something with arts, but combined with the first answer, this is our second red flag. And now I can feel you asking the question, hey, why is John, the person with no teaching experience or education background, in my classroom as my teacher? It doesn't make sense, does it? But hold on. There is one more question. There is one more thing we can ask. There's one more thing we can check before we jump on to conclusions. Question number 3. Does John at least have some kind of teaching qualification or, a certificate? If you are lucky, the answer will be yes, he has. They will tell you that John has a TESOL or TEFL certificate. Having a TESOL or TEFL certificate means that the person got a teacher training course from an institute. If you remember, I also mentioned that I have one. The important thing to do here is to check that the certificate, the institution he got his certificate from is a good one. And there's a reason why I'm asking you to do it. Because you can buy a certificate online starting from $20. Yes, you can just watch a few YouTube videos and get a PDF certificate. That's possible. No need to worry though, since it's very simple, very easy to check the quality of the TESOL or TEFL certificate. For example, the one I got is called CELTA, and it's considered to be, let's say, the Coca-Cola of TESOL courses. It costs around £1,200. It's an intensive and comprehensive course. It's accredited worldwide. Any course that is equal to CELTA in quality should cost around the same. So anything above $1,000 means that training course is a good one. So let's say John has a training course that costs about more than $1,000. Then you can say, oh, whew, I'm not getting scammed. At least, even though John doesn't have any prior experience or any qualifications before, he at least got a really good teacher training course. So yes, you can relax. You're not getting scammed. However, if John has a certificate that costs around $20, something that everyone can get online, then yeah, you are paying lots of money for John. I will let you decide whether it's worth it or not. But this was the best case scenario. The worst case is, or the usual case is, what if John doesn't even have a TESOL certificate? Well, that means you are definitely getting scammed. Stay away from that school or institution as far as possible, as far as you can. Do not pay hefty course fees for a totally inexperienced and unqualified person to teach you, or even worse, your child. Just don't. And also, like, this is the third red flag. Just if you have 3 red flags, yeah, you are getting scammed. If you are 2, so. Now, I want to finish today with 2 questions that I've seen asked a lot on this topic by both students and parents. The first one is, I really want to have a native English speaking teacher, an actual teacher. Where are they? They are mostly teaching English as a subject in their home countries or at an international school abroad. Teachers are required by law to have a state-issued teaching certificate to be able to teach at an international school, in most countries anyways. That's where you should go or send your children to. Question number 2. Well, Sarkan, I want to speak with a native English speaker, be friends with them. How am I supposed to do it? First of all, you do not have to pay a dime to do it. You can just use a language exchange app or join a language exchange community and meet them in person. Instead of spending lots of money and risk getting scammed, you can use that money to eat something with our imaginary teacher John at a restaurant. You can use that money somewhere else. And this is it. This is it for now. I hope I was able to raise some awareness on this topic and help you understand what's going on behind the scenes in the English education industry. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down below. I will do my best to answer all of them. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Until next time, take care and stay enlightened.